Chapter 10. Her Body. At the breakfast table, Kalea took one bite of her oats and slid the bowl over to Rose, who sat tearing up while staring at her already empty one. A smile brightened her innocent face when Kalea's offering scooted into her sight. Kalea touched one fingertip to her lips, a hand gesture to honour the one creator, showing a single finger to indicate him and kissing it to indicate love. Rose gave the gesture back to her. On that single bite of food, Kalea went about her morning chores, her afternoon prayers, and onto afternoon laundry hanging. By the mid-afternoon hour, her stomach roared, and she braced a hand on the wall when another dizzy spell overtook her. A deep, familiar voice resonated beside her.
"Are you all right, Kalea?"
"Dorhen, you're not supposed to be in here." He appeared beside her as the hood fell off his head.
"I looked for you at the creek. I thought we were going to meet and say the alphabet today."
She released the wall and balanced herself. "Oh, I forgot."
"You don't look good. Have you eaten?"
She turned back to her basket of soggy linens. "No, I'm fasting. It's a ritual we do once in a while to honour the one creator."
"Well, stop it. You've gone pale."
"I can't. Don't you know there's a famine?" He grabbed a linen out of the basket and copied what she did with it. "You don't have to do that."
"I don't think you can handle it on your own."
She clenched her teeth. Should she be offended? Or happy for the help? She was too tired to decide at the moment. He had certainly become bold about appearing in open spaces where he might be seen. In this area, the cover of the hanging sheets provided them some privacy, but that wouldn't stop Sister Gani from coming to check on her.
"Kalea?"
He said with his voice high and inquisitive.
"You should leave this place."
She cocked her head toward him, holding her current garment high. "Tell me you're joking."
"I'm not. Staying here is a bad idea, especially with a famine. There are other places we can go where food can be found more easily."
"We?"
"Yes."
When should she tell him some of the novices would be sent away? What would he do if she turned out to be one of them? "You want me to go away with you?"
"I'm good at surviving in the forest."
"So together we'll eat a bunch of tree bark?"
"I'm being serious."
She clicked her tongue and went for the next garment in the basket. "You just don't understand."
"What? Your willingness to starve in here because no one's bringing in any food for you?"
"But I'm going to be a Vestal."
"And?"
"And Vestals have a duty to—"
"To the one creator?"
He smiled. "What's so funny?"
"Nothing. I sat outside the window of the big room and listened to the man talking about the one creator."
"And what did you hear Father Liam say about him?"
"That the one creator created everything. This earth.
He stamped his foot.
This rock. Those trees out there."
"And what else did you hear?"
"It's not what I heard afterward. It's what I thought. The world in there was created by other humans."
He pointed to the building behind her. She frowned and glanced back at it.
"You insist on staying closed up in your world made by humans, and yet you want to praise and honor the one creator who created much more out here. Why not come outside with me and enjoy all of it?"
"Because I live in there where it's safe." He grabbed her hand, and she held in a scream. His eyes sparked brightly over his joyful and mischievous smile, like any elf from any fairy tale she'd read.
"Come out with me for one day."
"What will we do?" she asked as she inspected him all over for any indication of baseness she could find. This could be the invitation to her downfall.
"We'll go to the creek and splash around. We can catch frogs."
"What?"
"If you follow the creek downstream a few miles, it runs into a cave, a big one. The sun shines into the cave and makes amazing lights on the walls. And it echoes. We can go in there and yell. We can sing."
Kalea blinked her eyes, looking at his warm hand grasping hers. The excited light in his beaming eyes spread to her lips in a smile. She forced the smile down. If she allowed the smile, it might escalate into a laugh. A laugh might escalate into her squeezing his hand back, and then maybe a hug. Or she might take his other hand and twirl with him and laugh some more and say, "Yes." The jittery sensation rose in her abdomen. Had he cast the spell again? Or was this what happened when people fell in love like in the stories? She took her hand away. No. She said it softly. No need to get riled up and make him feel bad again. His smile faded. Though the picture of the two of them dancing hand in hand was nice, it wasn't her destiny. She belonged in this convent as a sister of sorrow, not in a lover's hand, a husband's house, or an elf's forest. Sorry, she added. His hands dropped to his sides. His smile was obviously forced. Since you're here, though, let's go over the alphabet again, and we'll do another confession.
Sure.
With his posture deflated, he followed her to a deep corner where the wall adjoined one of the convent wings. She took the broom, leaning against the wall along the way. I'll go slow to help you soak it up. She turned the broom over and used its handle to draw an A in the dirt.
That's A,
he said. Very good. What sound does it make?
Ah.
Beside it, she drew the next symbol.
That's B as in bucket or barrel.
She paused to wonder at him. I didn't expect you to remember all this. Our session yesterday was so brief. Can you remember the...
C as in cart, D as in danger, E as in everyone, F as in fight, G as in girl, H as in heat.
He went through them all, speaking rapidly. He stopped at Q, remembering the symbol, but unable to put it to a word. As in quick, she said.
Thank you.
He went through the rest of the alphabet, stopping again at X. This one is hard. I'm not good with words starting with X, but it's the third letter in next. I'm impressed with you, though. Were you practicing all night?
I remember all the symbols you taught me. I applied the sounds you taught me to words I knew. Am I right about these words?
You are. She studied him for a moment.
What else?
She shook out of her little trance and said, Next, I'll explain how the letters work together. You said the word cart. She wrote cart in the dirt and explained each letter and how it worked to make the word possible. And that's it. That's reading. If you can remember each letter and the sounds it makes, you can read any word. If you find a long one, you can sound it out to figure it out for yourself. She underlined the word while pronouncing it.
How do you write Kalea?
Hiding her smile, she wrote her name in the dirt.
This one's my favorite. It's beautiful.
Kalea cleared her throat and kept her raging amusement suppressed. And this is your name. She marked out the letters of his name and he shook his head.
It's hard and somber, but yours is curly and playful.
Her giggle drew his eyes. Your name isn't somber, it's soft, gentle. He smirked. So, then, do you grasp reading now?
I think so. I'll look at words I find and try to practice on them.
Dorhen?
She
lowered her chin but tried to maintain eye contact. We can keep meeting. I'll help you practice reading and teach you more about praying too. His sweet, bright smile returned. Still holding the broom, she focused on her two hands grasping its handle. She resituated them.
That reminds me,
he said, reaching into his largest belt pouch. A few leather pouches hung from his belt, implements of his traveller's lifestyle. He pulled out a book.
I found this morning. I thought you could read it to me.
A sleek, golden arrow winked at her from the book's spine. Her mouth dropped open and rounded. A Laemis book? Where did you get this? She narrowed her brow. Did you steal it?
The shiny arrow caught my eye. When I opened it, there were more pretty pictures inside.
Dorhen, I'm not allowed to read Laemis books. He showed her a hand-coloured woodcut somewhere in the middle of the book with jagged lines illustrating Laemis, with his long black braid running along the curve of his spine, grasping a shy woman's hand and shoving his face closer to hers. The woman gave a coy smile while his mouth gaped in a longing frown. The ears of the woman in the picture were rounded. A human, Dorhen's smile curved under glowing eyes. Laemis was an elf, and his affection was aimed at a human woman in the picture. Kalea shook her head. I don't know what to say.
Will you read it to me?
She sighed. You can read it to me. What do you say?
Fair enough.
Put it away. We can't read right now. He obeyed.
Kalea,
he said as she bent over to pick up another wet garment from the basket.
How did you get in here?
I told you. I'm mentally ill. My parents sent me to this place.
But you're better now, aren't you? Especially since now you know you don't have a mental illness.
We don't leave when we get better. It's not a hospital, it's a convent, and we are a faction of religious women. And are you arguing with me about leaving again? Biting his lip, he glanced at his soft leather shoes. He always dressed like a human. He must have told the truth about not visiting Nor since his childhood.
I want to know things about you.
She clenched her teeth at the thought of talking about herself in depth with him. She demanded he answer any and all of her questions about himself. It wouldn't be fair to refuse to answer his questions about her.
Where did you live before you came here?
Tolmoil, Kalea surrendered. It's a few days' ride to...
To the east, I know.
Have you been there?
Yes, many times, even when I was little. Maybe we came close to each other in the past and didn't know it.
She smiled and continued with the laundry. He also took out a bedsheet and hung it beside the chemise she was hanging. No, she said, don't let it have any folds or it'll take longer to dry. Straighten it out. She leaned into his personal space, using her free hand to adjust his sheet while holding up the other side of her garment.
Sorry.
His voice hummed warm in her ear. You'll get it. Is this the plan? Helping me hang laundry now?
If you wish it. I'll do anything you ask.
She shook her head. You'll get caught.
Kalea, what's your favorite food?
A snort escaped in her laugh. Frog legs. At his silence, she turned to check on him. His face had gone long.
Why?
They're good, and they're plentiful too. His mouth dropped open.
That's awful. Why would you eat them?
She laughed out loud. What's the matter? Do you have sympathy for the frogs?
I love them.
She couldn't help but turn to study his sincere and sorrowful face. Her heart warmed. You're kind of, she lowered her voice, sweet, sometimes. Never mind. Another light, feathery laugh escaped her throat. I won't eat any more frog legs, how about that?
Actually, I'd have you eat anything. You're so fragile looking. When I met you, you were full of energy. Enough to swing that stick and run with me all the way to the forest.
Well, things are changing, and I'm afraid it'll get worse fast. When she looked up again, he was frowning. You want to nag me to leave again?
I believe it would be better for you. Give me the order, and I'll help you get out of here.
I can't. The two words slid out as a breathy whisper. Why couldn't she leave?
Do you still have a mother?
The question jarred her out of her thought. Yes, my mother is alive.
Is she in Tolmoil?
She is, and my father. His eyebrows narrowed at the last part.
Don't you miss her?
Sometimes. Kalea returned to her work again.
What is she like? She stitches clothes, you said before.
Yes.
What else is she like?
A hard, no-nonsense woman who would have preferred a boy. My father is gentler. I used to love to sit on his lap by the fire, and he'd read me the Layamis book. She stopped talking when Doran's face went long in surprise.
You had this book?
He motioned to the pouch where he'd stashed it. Yeah, I adore Layamis. Doran grinned wide.
Now I know your favorite book, and I happen to find one. I have good instincts. You'll learn about me.
She giggled. All the more reason to run away with you, huh? His smile retracted to the closed-mouthed type, but his soft eyes implied she was correct. Noting the sun's angle, she clicked her tongue. This isn't good. The evening prayer hour is coming and I have to finish this laundry. Quick, let's do a confession before I have to go back in. Someone could also come out here to fetch me for any reason. Several new walls of sheets hung with the others now, and at the heart of the complex, Kalea sat on the stool. Dorhen knelt before her like he had yesterday. I'm going to make you a good follower of the Creator if you insist on seeing me every day.
Yes,
he said.
Anything for you. I'll do anything.
She cleared her throat. If you remember most of the alphabet after one run-through, can I assume you remember the confession opening? Dorhen cleared his throat and began.
One Creator, forgive me, because I've sinned.
What have you to confess? Kalea settled her eyes on the treetops over the convent wall as he pointed his face the opposite way. The wind whistled. She waited. A few moments passed before she peeked at him. He frowned and squinted. Have you anything to confess, child?
I don't think I've done anything sinful.
She couldn't stifle her smile this time. You must have done something. There's always something.
I don't know. I've stolen food before the day we met.
Well, that's something, but what else? Did you steal the book?
I bought it, unless it's a sin to buy it.
Kalea squinted and fought the urge to look at his face for signs of deception. How did you buy it?
I was in town, blending into plain sight with my ordinary hood on. An old man's handcart turned over when its wheel broke. I was standing close and reflexively caught it. A few of his pottery pieces fell off, but no major damage occurred. I did my best to hide my face, but he was so happy he handed me a copper right out of his coin purse. Keeping my face low, I went straight to the market to find a present for you, and the books were there. This one stood out to me.
I see. I'm glad to hear of your kind deed. A flush of pink came to his cheeks with the grin her words caused. No one got suspicious of you? He shook his head.
No, it was fine.
I believe you. Now let's get back to confession. Think about it hard.
I still don't know.
Let's see. Have you entertained any unclean thoughts?
What kind of thought is unclean?
Don't look at me. He snapped his face away. Most men have unclean thoughts. It tends to be a universal downfall of theirs. Women can have them too, but they're also pretty susceptible to jealousy and gossip.
But what's an unclean thought?
You don't know. She caught herself looking at him. When their eyes met, she snapped her gaze away. It's thinking about women and having lustful desires for them.
That's unclean.
Shh, not so loud. But yes, unclean thoughts lead to unclean actions. I said, don't look at me. His head whipped away again in her peripheral vision. So, would you like to confess any unclean thoughts?
Not really.
Well, at least you're honest about that. But in confession, you have to. Don't worry, I won't judge you. As your confessor, I'll be as professional as can be, and I'll assign you a penance, and then you'll be absolved. You'll feel better.
Are you sure I'll feel better?
Yes. His hesitation continued. A quick peek at him revealed his bowed head and his white-knuckled fists grasping the hem of his tabard. Could it be so bad? She asked. Because more extreme sins require more extreme penances, like lashings. But if it's a paltry, unclean thought, you don't have to worry. You'll just have to recite prayers.
Lashings?
Surely you know this word. Lashing, as in getting whipped on your back. Another few seconds of silence passed.
Did that happen to you?
The neatly healing lash wounds on her back burned after a sudden flare of pain. What are you talking about?
Did you get lashed on your back?
Kalea's heart accelerated to pounding in her ears. Dropping her professional confessor's demeanour, she turned to him. He remained staring at the ground, gripping his tabard hem.
Did you get lashed after we met?
Dorhen, how would you know?
Your back. It was all ripped up. Red. And raw. Did it hurt?
How did you see my back?
Does it still hurt?
How? She clenched her own fists to keep a hold on her panic.
I saw you in the bath.
When? How? He paused to swallow, avoiding her eyes.
On the night you were attacked and you ran from me, I followed you all the way to this building. They took you through the gate, and I couldn't slip in with you, so I climbed the wall.
I don't believe it!
I'm sorry. I didn't want to lose you. I got in here and looked for you. I waited in the shadows, over there.
He pointed generally toward the corner at the other end of the courtyard.
Until I heard a girl say your name. It echoed above me.
He must have meant Joy. And?
I climbed the wall again, and from there I stepped onto that awning. I walked across there and stepped onto the adjoining sloped roof. Your voice sounded in the open window above it.
He pointed to the window belonging to the room with the bathtubs.
The window stood halfway open.
Why?
I wanted to find you.
His eyes met hers for an instant and sprang away.
I didn't know you'd be naked in there.
And then what? You watched me? Why did you watch me?
I couldn't help it.
How much did you see? Kalea's fingernails stabbed into her palms. He shifted uncomfortably.
You were talking to your friend, in the bath, as she rubbed something on your back. I worried about you. I saw you wince and I felt pain for a moment too, like scratches raking across my back. I resisted the urge to go in.
Kalea's throat closed up and a shiver rattled her entire body. What else did you see? The words escaped through her clenched teeth.
Your warm skin. It had steam swirling off of it. And you stood up. I couldn't look away. Your long hair trailed down your back like ribbons of wet silk, and to your front where it clung around your flashing hints of flesh when you moved.
Enough! She shot to her feet too fast and fought an oncoming faint. Get out! She pointed to the wall. He rose too and put up his hands. Climb back over the wall and leave, or I'll scream and will turn you over to the guard.
But you said confessing was good and I could get absolved.
This is different. She sat again and crossed her arms. I said that before knowing you were a pervert.
You said we all do things wrong.
It's still different.
How?
Tell me what happened after.
I climbed off the roof and went back to the forest.
What next? Did you have unclean thoughts about me?
That's not what I'd call them. But to answer your question, yes. After getting over the nausea of knowing you endured such pain.
She stood again and thrust her palm at his stomach. Leave! Don't ever come back! She moved too fast and swayed to the side, precariously keeping her footing. He exhaled at her strike, but collected himself fast enough to catch her and ease her back onto the stool.
Kalea, I'm sorry.
His voice cracked. She batted him away with flailing arms.
I didn't mean anything by it. I want forgiveness. I want your forgiveness, and the Creator's.
Kalea bowed over on her seat to try and get her vision back. She panted. Her head spun and she grasped it in both hands. I can't believe you saw me. You saw me! The sighs puffing out of her lungs turned to sobs. His heavy breathing became apparent when she covered her face with shaky hands. His feet stayed planted on the compacted earth before her. Are you still standing there? I told you to leave me. She raised her head again, knowing how red her face must be. He stood with his hands limp by his sides, frowning. He ripped open the buttons on his outer russet mantle and threw the whole thing to the ground. Underneath that, his blue hood showed as a scarf-like drapery about his shoulders. He took off his belt and threw it down. He untied the laces on the sides of his outer tabard and threw it onto the forming pile. What are you doing? He untied the laces which kept his undershirt closed at the sides, drew it past his narrow but muscled shoulders, and off his tight, sinewy arms. He threw the undershirt aside. Stop it! What are you doing? Only the blue hood and a vibrant white stone hanging around his neck on a leather thong were left on his upper body.
I'm going to let you see my body so we can be even. It's penance.
That's not penance.
It's fair,
he said as his hands moved to his mismatched brown and grey leggings to untie the tight, bulging codpiece which joined all the pieces together. Don't! Kalea rose again and lurched for him. He dodged and continued to work through the undressing process. The codpiece came off. By the time she'd grabbed his wrists and pushed him against the wall, he wore nothing all the way to his knees, where he'd peeled down his leggings. Nothing at all. She pinned him there and paused long enough to process what had happened. His pulse hammered in his wrists under her grip. He stared at her, as serious as she'd ever seen him. His blue hood remained draped around his shoulders. Smooth, milky skin glowed below it, with no hint of body hair anywhere. She saw a stomach with a soft composition of hills and valleys, an artful mingle of bone and muscle, his protruding ribs pumped up and down. The warm smell of his flesh registered. She caught herself staring at it, trembling delicately with each beat of his heart. Her eyes trailed back up, over all the smooth elven skin, over his intricate ab muscles, his ribs, then stopping at his deep turquoise eyes. He offered no words. He waited instead, rosy lips pouting. Kalea swallowed, but her mouth had gone dry. What if someone comes out here? He answered in a voice both deep and serious.
That's why I left the blue hood on. Can I have your forgiveness now?
Only if you put your clothes back on. She released his wrists and stepped back. She thought to turn her back, but she'd already seen him in great detail. No hair grew on his legs either, she noted as he pulled the skin-tight leggings back over them. The codpiece dangled off to one side, and he pulled it over and fastened it to the other side, doing a little dance to situate his within. His eyes lingered on her with a dark intensity while he dressed. Not resentful, more like he wanted to know her impression, or if he'd obtained her forgiveness. He next put on the white linen undershirt, overlapped its lapels, and tied them in place at the sides, her mouth poised on the edge of speaking as she watched him. She might have offered some words, but they kept getting lost under the rhythm of heartbeats in her ears. She dropped to the stool.
Are you all right?
He asked, his voice running hard. He pulled the tabard over his head and made sure the blue hood was accessible through the neck hole. Her voice slid out as a whisper. Yeah, his voice. The sound of it, so dark and deep, brought back the nervous jitters which racked her body and carried hot tingles through her belly and flared up her thighs. She tore her eyes away at last, but longed to return them. When she did, his eyes were still boring into her, demanding an answer. He'd never come across so mature before now. He even seemed taller than before.
Kalea,
he said. Yes.
I'm sorry.
He stood over her, no grovelling this time.
I'm sorry 1,000 times. Have I redeemed myself?
Her head bobbed. I forgive you.